Hi everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise, and I have a list here of viewers' questions that I'm going to be reading on today. So I hope you guys are all well. I know we're going through really challenging times, holding space for so much healing that needs to happen, and so many new laws that need to be enforced, or actually old laws, well, maybe laws that were already written that need to be enforced. Passed. Get through the Senate, right? We need protection. So, but anyway, I'm going to get into these questions, and well, first I have switch cameras. I'll use this camera up here, and we'll get this going. But big hugs meanwhile, and let's just get this started. Okay, hold on. Okay, so here's my list. I'm gonna answer my own question in the beginning here, but Hilda, if you're watching this and you do decide or you have time to do the timestamps, I can email you this list, so it'll be easier to, because I know half of the work is just typing in the question. So, but anyway, I can email this to you. Just send me an email, and I'll email it right back. Or I can cut it. I can cut and paste it in the what do you call the description area too. But I don't know if that's as easy to access as an email. So anyway, my first question, I want to know, what's Governor Abbott's future in the aftermath of the Uvalde Massacre? So let's see what I'm feeling like. Let me just use the regular tarot. And so I think I have them all. Yeah, they're already up right here. So let me, hold on, I need to sink in, feel his energy, and then I'll allow for reversals here too. Governor Abbott. Which, maybe he's at the NRA convention already. Ugh. Okay. What is your future, little man? Little man with the big fat ego. Won't be able to stay out of my bias with this one, that's for sure. But, you know, my bias doesn't matter when it comes to looking at the future. It's like, I have no idea what this guy's future could be. So that's what I'm asking for. What is his future? Now that we've had this literal massacre, poor children, my goodness, the families, oh my goodness. Okay, just Governor Abbott. I can always ask the question from a different angle later on as to the future of gun safety in America, but I want to stick for now with just Governor Abbott. What is his future? Okay. So, the forces in motion in his life at this point. Oh, big changes. You know what? I have room. Let me just go ahead and do a Celtic cross. Okay. There's the sitch. That's his situation. His greatest challenge. The Fool reversed. What's at the base? What's let me move the chopstick over here. What's at the base? What is what's he sitting in? What's his sunk-in reality that he's probably not going to be able to change? Judgment. Recent past. Yep, he went for it. Thinks he's all that. What's hanging over him, the karma that's hanging over him that he can't get out from under. Queen of Swords. Bunch of independent thinking parents, mothers, clear-headed mothers who are coming after him. And his near future. I think that's the NRA convention where he feels at home. Wow. Okay, and then let's look at his, I'm going to go first with his internal space, which can be conscious or unconscious, but it will definitely vibe in, it will definitely attract. Actually, I'll just change it. What is he attracting? What is he attracting? Knight of Wands. You know what? Let's just go with what he's attracting and what is his political future. And I maybe could do, yeah, I've got tons of room up here. Actually, let's just go this way, up here. And what is his political future? Oh, yeah. Right. Okay. I think this is pretty self-explanatory, don't you? Do I even really need to tell you what these cards mean? I mean, you guys are so good at it by now after all this time. But I will anyway, in case you're brand new. So, death is death, big transition. It could be a rebirth, but, and this is the situation he's in and he's created. This is also, let me move these cards out of the way. This is also the literal, death of all these children, right? All the children in Uvalde. And others in his, I'm sure he's had other problems. Of course he's had other problems in his state. Him and Ted Cruz, between the two of them, they have just ruined. But anyway, death reversed, we are in a place where the people, I think many people in the state of Texas and all over the United States, we are feeling like there's no more hope. There's no more hope. And we feel stuck. And there's this major fear of change, coming from him. And he's holding on. He's holding on for dear life, but it's an ending. It's an ending, and I think he's just going to continue to move forward and try and make some. But there's big change coming for him. The Fool reverse, because his biggest challenge is that he's an idiot. That he is negligent, that he's reckless, right? He's just completely foolish and not in a good way. It's not about being trusted. He's completely unprepared and unable to handle the situation, and he's been negligent. Because he's so aligned with the NRA. So that's that little dude. What he's sitting in that he can't get out of is judgment. And of course, judgment is literal, right? The literal judgment coming down on him. He has an opportunity to get into some clarity and honor his, honor a deeper call. But no, I don't think he's going to be doing that. I think, this is going to be all the shadows coming up from out of the woodworks from, who knows how long ago. So there's that. And then his recent past, of course, he put himself out there. Hold on. Excuse me. He's been like the little guy with the big stick, thinking that he's all that. But he's not. this is a lot of action coming out from him. He thinks that he thinks he's got it, but he really doesn't. And then with the Queen of Swords up here, the karma is, because I changed the the meaning of the position. It's not just like what he's thinking about or what's hanging above him. This is his literal karma, and I think that it has to do with all the mothers who are sick and tired of losing their children, and this is all the women uniting together in order to, because this card is all about self-sufficiency and independence and being very, very, very organized. And she's also a card of the truth. So the karma is that his karma is that the truth is going to come out and the women will be united. Husbands, family, the men are united as well, I think, on the ones that are smart. And even the ones that, maybe weren't so smart in the past, I think they're wising up, and there's a unification here of the mind. And then the Four of Wands, I think moving into the future, near future, I think he's already there. I'd be surprised. You guys let me know if I'm wrong, but I think that he is already at the convention, and he's having fun. He feels right at home. But this is his political future. This doesn't look good. The Knight of Wands is big change. And the Three of Wands tells me I think he's going to be looking for a new job at some point. And maybe he's aligning with a lot of foreign, so-called dignitaries, but I'm thinking like oligarchs. I'm thinking he's tied so deeply in with the NRA, and we know that the NRA, I did a reading about 5 months ago, and I posted it in my community section just to make it easier to find, but the future of the NRA, and it was a long video. I think it was like 50 minutes or so. But I got in touch with, because I wanted to know, like, was the NRA, we were suspecting, but I wanted to know, was the NRA in bed with Russia? Was the NRA funded with Russian money? And I got clearly yes, and asked the question, several other questions from different angles. And at the end of it, it came through, I think it was like because I just watched it this morning, around the 47-minute mark, it came through that there will be big changes within the NRA at some point. I just don't know how long it's going to take. But Wayne LaPierre, he's, of course, they've stripped him, or they will. I don't know if they have yet, but they'll strip him of his duties, and he'll be in trouble. But the organization itself is not going to be doing well in the future. So he may be trying to get support from Russian oligarchs. He's going to have a hard time managing his finances because the truth is coming out. And he's going to be heartbroken, and he's going to feel betrayed, but oh, poor baby, too bad, because it's a tower moment. It's a tower moment. And the women are like, off with your head. Off with your head, little dude. So, okay, that's it on Governor Abbott. All right. I don't know if I'll use this deck again. I might, but let me see. What's our next question is Elaine Pearman. She wants to know, will there be any negatives to what Beto did? I thought he was great, emotional too, but can this be used against him in some way? Okay. So, yeah, of course we know, and I'll use this deck. This is the Golden Dreams Lineman. So, what he did was fantastic. And he went in there quietly. So Beto O'Rourke, in case you guys don't know, Beto O'Rourke went into the press conference that Abbott and his dirty sheriff, or whatever that guy is with the ginormous hat. You couldn't even see his face. And then that other disgusting guy next to him, the lieutenant. Was he lieutenant governor? Yeah, he was a lieutenant governor. Started yelling at Beto at work. So Beto went in there and just asked some questions, like, when is this going to stop? When are you going to bring in some gun laws to protect? I mean, the cops can't even protect themselves from these assault rifles, these military assault rifles that are just getting worse and worse and worse. And no one has a chance. So anyway, Beto went in, said his thing very, very quietly, very respectfully, but was trying to, make his point. And they yelled at him. The deputy guy called him a son of a bitch, a mean, crazy something son of a bitch. You get out of here. Yelled at him, and they literally pushed him out. They had a cop push him out. So he went outside and said what he wanted to say, and I loved him for that. That was great. But okay, so is this, is his going into, what's Beto's future based on what he just did? What's Beto's future based on what he did by confronting Abbott like he should have? Okay. All right, so I'm going to do this a little bit like a tarot style here. So the forces in motion. Yeah, he went in there in a confusing situation, tried to bring clarity. The clouds also is about something's hidden. Something's majorly distorted. He was very sad. He was coming from he was sad. He wasn't really organized, I don't think, going into it. But he wanted to get some clarity. Okay, and his challenge, yeah, he opened up a can of worms. It's like, Pandora's box. But hey, look at all that light down there at the bottom. Here's all the negative boogers. This is every one of these faces could be Abbott, that lieutenant governor, and the other sheriff. Oh, God, that guy made me, he's disgusting. He was speaking and he was just like smacking. Every time he spoke, he was smacking. And you couldn't see his face because of this stupid, big, like ginormous hat. What's that about? What are you hiding, dude? So that's the challenge, was that Beto wanted to get to the truth. So that's the situation. Okay. So now let's look at how this is going to go. Now we'll look at the future. Okay. He wanted something, but I don't. Oh yeah. All right. Okay. So with the magic lamp, this is a card of, you have to be careful what you wish for, but it's his vision and his dream to, I think, have safety in Texas, right? The snake is all about betrayal. You have to watch out. You can get bit. But it's also a card of detours. And that's what he did, is he had something to say. He wanted to get out there and get in front of it and try to get some clarity, which is what these cards are all about. But then, this card is a lot like the Seven of Cups in the tarot. But it does have a little bit of a twist in it where, you have to take action to put your dreams into reality. And that's what he was trying to do. But then here he's met with this detour and this major complication. And these people who are detached from reality because they just care about the money and they care about being in control, and who are you to, question us? It's like, ugh. Right? And then there's something, this is about the children.
This is about the children, and this is about the protective web that so in his future, he's creating, his intention is to protect the children, and he has wisdom, and he's going to keep talking about it. And whether or not they try to spin it in any way, these are good cards. These are really good cards for the ending, and it's because he cares. His heart's in it. So I don't see it as I don't see as any negativities that have any harm. We don't have the coffin here. We don't have any of the, like, there's a keyhole card in here that could have been like an ending in a negative place. I don't have any of those cards. This is just what he was up against. But then also, this card could be that he'll find an alternate path. He'll find a detour. But he knows what he's up against, and he now knows that he's up, this is dangerous. He knows that he has enemies. So that's, nothing new there, right? I just really appreciated what he did, actually. Loved him for that. Okay, what's my next question? Oh, Patricia, Spirits Beyond Stars. Guiliani testified for over 9 hours. Did he give up any information? Okay. I think I'll use a kipper for that. Okay, so it's Ciro Marchetti's kipper. Okay. So let's see. Guiliani. Rudy. God, did that guy go down a dark hole and ruin his life or what? Oh, goodness. Okay, Rudy. Did you give up anything? When you were interviewed by the January 6th committee, what did he do? Did he plead the fifth? At least he went. But did he just plead the fifth? What did he do? Did he plead the fifth, or did he spill any beans? And if so, what did he spill? What did he say? Okay. All right. Ready. Okay, so there's the examination. There's the examination. This would be Liz Cheney. Let me just keep drawing the cards. Okay, the rules and regulations. Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. Did you spill your beans? What did you give? He gave something. Oh, but he lied. It was deceptive. I don't think he gave much, honestly. Okay, so this is the problem with having a legal background like he has. He's lost his license, though, but he knows that doesn't mean he doesn't still know the rules. He knew the rules. That's right here. So this is the committee, even though it's not the community card, which is usually my January 6th committee, but this is the examination. And I don't even know if he actually went in or if it was, over online, whatever. But this is the examination. This is Liz Cheney. And she was expecting to get more, but it wasn't forthcoming because he knew the rules. And he knew that he could just plead the fifth. And I would think that he probably has a pardon from Trump, but will that save him? I don't know. He knew the rules. He's not married, so I don't know who this main female is in his life. It could just be that this is the receptive card. This is Liz Cheney wanting to receive, and then there were wanted to receive information about, I don't know if there's a younger person involved. But this could be a wealth, because this is a wealthy person. It doesn't always have to be a person. You know, the other main meanings for this card is just creativity. And it could be a colleague and an associate of Liz Cheney's. I think this is reminding me here that she's the main female that was expecting to get information, but I don't think it was forthcoming, but she worked him for it. They worked him hard. And the direction that he went with it, he knew the rules, he knows the law, and the direction that he went with it was he worked them. He worked them. He knew when to be quiet and when to say something. He was totally deceptive, but he was extremely concerned about landing in prison and getting locked up, and he's run out of money. And he lied about that. I don't think he gave them anything, honestly, Patricia, honey. I don't think he did. I'm not seeing what was on the bottom of the deck. Oh yeah, communications, and then the ambition. So this would be all communications and the ambition. But none of these cards make me feel like, yeah, he had all the information. He had a wealth of information. I don't see that he gave it up, though. Because he's been paid off. He's been paid off. This could be the pardon that Trump already gave him, that he had. Yeah, darn it. Sorry. I just don't see it. I don't see it. Because at this point in his life, his goal is to stay out of prison, it looked like with those cards. And that he had a pardon. Okay, Mark. Hi, Mark. Mark wants to know, why was the GOP CPAC, Conservative Political Action Conference, held in Hungary this year? Okay, so for that, I'm going to use, why not use the Russian deck? Okay, we're talking all kinds of communism in this deck, so might as well go with it. Okay, one more time. Why was it held in Hungary? Why would the GOP have their convention in Hungary? Why did they do it in Hungary? Okay. So, here's the main reason. Well, they had some regrets. Okay, some regrets. And the challenge with the star card would be, connections. They wanted to make connections. Okay. Now let me just do 5 cards up here to see why. King of Swords, Ace of Cups, 2 of Pentacles, 4 of Cups, and partnership. No duh, right? Okay, so the deal with that, they've had regrets, I think, from their past actions, and this is one of my like social media cards in this deck. And with the star card on its side, there's that wanting to make connections, but there's a loss of connections and a loss of faith and hope within even being able to do what they want here, I guess. That's interesting. That's interesting. Wow. They've lost their direction, that's for sure. They've lost their hope. They were afraid of being rejected with this combo here. So they went to where they thought it was safe and they could be well received. But they're working at cross purposes with this King of Swords. You can see right here, this guy's like, what? His feet aren't going in the right direction and everything's all tied up inside of him. Trying to find their morals. And all they care about is just holding on to the good feelings. But then there's money problems. They did it because of money. How weird is that? Like, who paid for them to get over there and do all that traveling and have everything done there? And then their apathy is what they're really connected to. Wow. Just for fun, since we know a third of the, and if these cards come through reverse, I'll just flip them up so you can see the images, but let's look at the future of the GOP. Well, let's add that in there. The future of the GOP. Now that we know that at least 2/3 of them or so, I mean, there's like up to 300 GOP upper, representatives, from the Senate and the House, who are in bed with Russia. So let's look at the future of the GOP. Okay. So the deep situation they're sitting in, the forces in motion in their party. 3 of Pentacles, tied together with dark money. Their greatest challenge. Yeah, that King of Swords principles. Corruption, right? Okay, and then let's just look at the process and into their future. GOP. Right? Who is the puppet master? Who do you think that might be? Could it be? Remember the church lady? But this is Putin. Yep, 4 of Cups. And then, so we had that card again. Ooh, we've got the Tower. 10 of Cups, marriage. They're married to disappointment. Let's see. Let's fit as many as I can in here. I'm going to fit a couple more. Actually, I think I can fit 4 more down there. Why not? Okay. Judgment. Who's going to listen to them? 10 of Wands, major oppression, major stress. 6 of Pentacles, who's going to give them the money? And who can they charm? There's no real strength here. I mean, you only have the renewal if you go through the transformation, and I don't know that they're going to do that. Of course, I didn't put a time frame on this. If you can see all these. Okay. So, it's Putin that's tying them together. It's Putin that's pulling the strings. He's the puppet master. They don't know what to... I mean, look at the eyeballs in this. Besides this being my card for apathy, look at that guy's eyeballs. They don't know what end is up. They're just, and they're under these time constraints. But they're all apathetic to the truth. And then with the Eight of Swords, they're carrying around like this, ball and chain of life under major restrictions. And the Tower is headed for them. It's so funny, the image in this card. Guy walks in and she's getting it on with, I guess maybe he was an attorney or something, I don't know, but justice is upside down. Yeah, and that's the Tower. And we all know what that means, right? Drastic changes, major disaster. It's my card for like disaster, destruction, just, it's like... Unless it's on the spiritual meaning, which I won't go into because that's not what these guys are about. I do that in my, personal readings and spiritual growth readings. They're married. Their marriage is based in destruction. And they're married to this guy. That's the problem. So maybe there'll be some renewal at some point if they might listen, but who are they? No, they're just trying to feed their pockets. And this is their future. They're going to have their hat out asking for money. And here's what we can give them. Our thoughts and prayers. Let's just give them our thoughts and prayers. You don't get any coins. You just get thoughts. Yeah, we'll be thinking about them. Major stress. Even like social media, like that. Like the stress of social media. This is the Ten of Wands. Feeling insecure, but they're going to turn on the charm and act like they're fine. Or maybe this is like Marjorie Taylor Greene trying to renew herself. But this is judgment. This is the Ten of Wands. It's a burden that they're having a hard time carrying. And the Six of Pentacles is they're going to get exactly what they deserve, and it's not going to be good. Okay. So that's the future of the GOP, at least as I see it. I could be wrong. Okay, so what's the next question here? Let's see. Ooh, Mark wants to know about the monkeypox. Okay, so is Russia involved in it? Here, I can fit this up against my monitor here, as long as it doesn't fall over. Okay, because we have several parts in this. And I changed your question up, Mark, so that we could get more out of it. So how dangerous? Okay, let me set this deck over here. Let's use this deck here. So danger. How dangerous is the monkeypox? Now, there are vaccines already for it. I did hear that on the news. But it's quite contagious. It's one of those, highly sexually transmitted diseases, as well as, you have to make close contact, this deal. I don't know that it's an airborne like COVID, but it's definitely highly contagious. Okay, let's see how dangerous is it. And I know, Mark, you're in Canada. I think there's 200 cases here in the USA, in Massachusetts. Let's send lots of protection to Massachusetts. We have dear members, subscribers in Massachusetts. You know who you are. Okay, and then Canada as well, and all the other countries. Let's see how dangerous it is. How dangerous is it? Okay, I heard 5 cards. Ooh, it's confusing about how it spreads. Okay. Within one cycle, there's going to be a lot of healing protection, helpful protection within a month. And this is health, so there's protection. Okay. Let me move these up, and I'll go ahead and draw another layer. Okay, hold on. Okay, so I don't see a lot of danger here at all. I don't have the scythe, I don't have the snake. I'm not seeing, and this is an extended deck where I could get more, but I'm not seeing a lot of danger. But I'm gonna keep going. I'll just do one more string here. As far as the spread, it looks to me like they're confused about. They're not so sure yet about all the ways that it spreads, because this is uncertainty, confusion. But it's also just a mood card, so it could be that things are uncertain about how it spreads, and we're going to find out more in this next month that there are ways to protect from it. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Okay, so with the bouquet, that is my recovery card. The snail is slow. And this would be about, secretions, things like that. With the ring, it could be the repetitive, things that circle back. But this also could be about commitment to healing it, commitment to blocking it. And that's the burden, though. So it's gonna, as long as we're very self-responsible and very careful, because it's not like you couldn't see, a person that had it. It'd be like looking at somebody with chickenpox. You see it, and we're talking high fever and feeling really awful. So as long as people are responsible because they know they have it, that they won't spread it. The spread is blocked. The spread is blocked, but we have to be very responsible for our own health. But help is on the way, and there are vaccines already for it. So, okay. So I'm not so worried about it spreading. Okay. Or I'm not so worried about the danger and the spread, as long as we're careful. So let's look at the next portion of this question, which is Russia involved in it? Oops. Either as a bioweapon or disinformation, clickbait. As a way to make money. But let's see, is Russia involved in it? Is Russia involved in it? Wait, I don't want to use this deck. Hold on. Use this one. Archie McPhee, super awesome fortune, because there's Russian cards in that deck. Okay, hold on. See, are they up right? Yeah. Okay. Is Russia involved? Is Russia involved in it either as a bioweapon, or if they're involved, show us how. If they're not, just give me some crazy cards that don't make sense and I'll get it. That's a yes card. That would be internet clickbait. Yeah, because of all the sanctions. Yeah, they're definitely involved. So they're involved. Well, I'll draw another line. Draw another string of cards here. But so far we can see that they're involved through trying to shock us, to getting us to click, because they know. I mean, that's been the whole KGB Putin thing for years. They've known that, well, all these dirtbags, they know that it's to get clickbait, they just have to get us to be afraid. It's all based in fear, and then emotional reactions and anger and hatred. It's basically, hatred and fear. That's what brings in the money. And they've broken up with the rest of the world. Their ship is sinking with the rest of the world because nobody wants the war in Ukraine. This is yes, definitely yes. Yes, yes, there's that connection. Okay, 1, 2. Okay. So yeah, they're united. There's their secrets now. This could have to do with like a bioweapon type of a thing. But then again, oh goodness, to use it. But it's not, it doesn't, I was going to say like this could be a travel card, because it is a travel card. This could be like the transfer of it through, air. But that's not, I don't believe, I could be wrong, but I didn't get that it's, it's through secretions. It's through, sexual transmission and the pus and the ooze and the, right? That's how it gets transferred around. The wish card is like, delusion. Happiness card. It's like they want to be happy. They want the money, right? They want the money. That's all it's all about. That's their MO. Okay, so, but yeah, they've got some. I would say it's more in the disinformation that they've in the clickbait. That's what it's about. Okay, so then the next part is about big pharma. Is big pharma pressing it into the front page news for profit? Big pharma. Well, they would love to, but well, shoot, and then there's the yes card there. Yeah. Oh, you guys, I'm so slow. Here's the monkey. Here's the monkey. I forgot that there's a monkey in this deck. But then to drink the milk, I hate milk. To drink the milk that they're trying to deliver, because we're shocked and we're afraid. And they're, some parts of big pharma is just a big sinking ship. Like, remember the Sackler family and all the fentanyl overdoses and we talk about darkness. This is a yes card. Wow. Okay. So I guess we just keep an eye on it. So it goes back to the first spread, with the cross, with the health and the cross. So it's about being responsible for our own health and being very careful. Okay, so the next question is from Lorin G. It says, please look into the future of the QAnon, election deniers, and all-around asshats that are winning GOP state and local election primaries. Okay, so let's just look at the future. I mean, I did the GOP spread, so whatever was in there, the future of the GOP didn't look so good. But I'll just use this deck and we'll ask again, and we're including the QAnon election deniers, QAnon election deniers, and all around asshats that are winning the GOP state and local election primaries. Let's look at the future of these guys. Okay. And I'll go ahead and I'll do 10 cards and lay them out. Okay. Something shocking about the money coming into them or abundance coming into them. Who's the king of the asshats? Got an asshat there. It seems to have the solution to the happiness of going back to the 50s. Maybe they'll all get the monkeypox. Okay. Ooh. All right. This is interesting. So, something shocking about their selfishness and the way they want it to go back to, way back in the day when they thought it was better, but it wasn't. This card to me is like people that are born in like the asshats that are born in the, not everybody, of course, but just the QAnon, election deniers, and all around asshats that are born in maybe the 70s and 80s, and they think that the 50s was a great time to be alive. Well, it's like, you know what? It wasn't. And their selective thinking and their selfishness is just lame. But they're in for some shock. And the money is not, and this might be in rural areas where something's broken and it's not going to go well for them. Because remember, this whole thing is about their future. And they're in love with the egomaniac king, which is Trump. And they're so dumb they think that like JFK Jr. is coming back. Oh my goodness. I mean, we're talking crazy. A foundation of crazy. Please don't take this wrong if you are a woman with a lot of cats, but that's not the meaning of this card. Because we all love kitties. And the more the merrier, as long as you can take care of them. But the foundation of the crazies, they're going to go, so some shocking for the crazies. Something shocking coming in from the crazies. Yeah, they're nuts. And they love the king, the egomaniacal king, which is Trump, the biggest asshat. But the money's going to be drying up. The money's not going to. It's like they're farming a broken reality in their brain. They're like farming a broken reality. I don't see winning here. Well, if we're looking for winning, this would be the successful winning card, but there's a shock. And then on down the line, it's a broken, fractured reality. But they're still going to love him. I don't see it going well for them. Okay, so the next question is from Helene. Hi, Helene. She wants to know if the GOP governors and reps who are legalizing incest, rape, and pedophilia, you know what we're talking about here, right? So all these governors in these states, and then they're in alignment with these, like maybe a secretary of state or whatever in a state where they're saying, Roe v. Wade's going, and then as soon as it does, we're going to flip it around. Well, what they're doing basically already in some of these states, they've taken away any abortion rights and all access to Planned Parenthood, where women could go in and get birth control and pap smears and mammograms. They're cut off. They've cut all that off. And they're saying that if you get pregnant, and even if you're pregnant by a family member, father, brother, uncle, whatever, and if you're raped by them, you still have to have the baby. And it doesn't matter how old you are. So they're legalizing this, and Helene wants to know if they're doing that because they're pedophiles themselves. Are the people that are legalizing this stuff pedophiles themselves? Okay. Oh. Well, that's a whole different twist on it. Wow. Okay. So some of them are, and some of them are just so tied to the Bible, and they don't understand. They don't really understand what they're doing. This is the whole bullshit of, pardon me if you don't believe this, but I don't believe I was created from a man's rib. And I'm sure there's a lot of you who are in alignment with me there or agree with me there, but this is a very biblical card in that it's like the whole Adam and Eve thing, and the woman is the one that gave in to temptation, all this the bullshit that's in the Bible. But just so you guys know, I have a really tight connection with Christ, but not with the Bible. So if you can't wrap your head around the difference between that, then I'm sorry. I mean, email me, we'll have a conversation about it if you want, but I'm not going to bore the rest of you guys with it here. It's like basically if you can't get your head inside of a paradox and work yourself through that, then I don't know what else to say. But it's heartbreaking to the feminine, and this is secrets. This is a secret card, and they are putting it in a blender to throw it out there and see if it sticks. They're trying to get it to stick. But this is a lot of this like an evangelical Taliban kind of mentality, and a lot of them are women. There's a lot of women that are just as guilty as these men. And this is the stand by your man bullshit. And because men are more, well, just remember, just go back and, the Equal Rights Amendment that still hasn't been ratified, and look and see what it was like before the Equal Rights Amendment. Women did not have control over their own body. That's what they fought for. Okay, let's see. Now that we can see the cause up here, how's this gonna go for these guys, for these people? Will they ever be investigated? Will these secrets be looked into? Helene wants to know, will they ever be investigated? Okay, I'm going to have to draw some more cards. So the house has to do with the family in this situation. Again, back to this the good old days of, no, they weren't good, but you know. This is it's just the literal attack on the feminine. The literal attack on the feminine. Will they be investigated? Maybe this isn't the right deck. There's movement. Movement in what direction? Towards the king, towards the past. Yeah. The king, whoever's trying to be king over women's bodies. And what's wrong with that? The future? Okay, will they be investigated? That would be looking into. There's, this is all this like Russia, Christian, it's what, can you imagine being Christ and all of these things being done in your name? Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Right? And that's not what he was about at all. But yeah, so this, this Putin kind of energy. I don't think this is the right deck. Let's just look and see. Well, I would think at some point any pedophile would be investigated. I mean, but look how many years we're talking with the dang, the church. Look how many hundreds, we're talking thousands and hundreds of years that there's been this, all these atrocities on women and children, on the vulnerable. And it's not just little girls, you know what I mean? I mean, if I go into all these details, you guys are just going to be, it's just going to drive you nuts, so I'm not going to go there. Let's just see if these guys that are trying to legalize, take away Roe v. Wade completely and any protections against, protections for the feminine and children, will they be investigated? What's the future of these guys? No, that's all the communications of any type, and I think there's ambition, maybe ambition to follow the money. Oh, this is one of my sex trafficking cards. This is my Sheldon Whitehouse card. When it comes, because he looks so much like him. Oh yes, yay! This is a card of so the courthouse is one of the best cards in the deck for getting to justice, because this is charges being pressed, a judicial hearings, processes, literal court hearings. And notice how they're, the documents are here. So we have documents and proof here, communications and documents here. This could be an attorney that has the ambition to follow the money and figure out what's going on, and then of course Sheldon Whitehouse. But this is the legal proof, the actual documents coming through that shows what they've discovered. Now, this could take, I don't know how long. I would think it would take a long time, but there's great concern over it already. And yeah, there will be the delivery of some gifts around that. And I don't know who the main male will be. that's yeah, but there's a lot of people that want whoever this guy is to be discovered. This card can be about distraction, but it's about stealing people's lives. And who's in on it? There's been lots of talks and meetings about it. And of course it has to do with Russia and all these other communist countries that don't give a rat's ass about anybody else's life. And it's a painful ending, but we will have an ending to it, and we will have an ending to the deception that covers it up. But I don't know how long it could take. I'm thinking, it'll be over years and years and years, and it might be something that we're always battling. So, okay. Well, that's it, you guys. Thanks for hanging in there with me. I know this is a long one. But hopefully Hilda will have the time to do the timestamps. And if she doesn't, she'll let me know, and then I'll do them. Okay. Love you guys. Bye.